So I have this friend who was working hard at her New York job making dough, but it made her blue. And one day she was crying a lot. And so she decided to move to West Covina, California, which happens to be where her ex Josh lives, because she's his crazy ex-girlfriend. Hey friends, my name's Nick. Welcome to Why Aren't You Watching, the series where I try really hard to convince you to watch a TV show that I love. Today's contender is Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, it is a fantastic romantic comedy drama musical that ran for 4 seasons on the CW starting in 2015. And it was co-written by Aileen Brosh McKenna of Devil Wears Prada fame and Rachel Bloom, who at the time I believe was best known for McKenna had a lot of experience in rom-coms, and Bloom had some experience in musical theater, and they were kind of fed up with how both of those mediums were very backwards and anti-feminist, and so they wanted to do something better. And that is how we end up with the Hallmark movie premise of this show, which is that a big, successful New York City lawyer runs into a boy she dated in summer camp and follows him to middle of nowhere, California. And of course, they fall in love and everything is great.
We'll never have problems again.
I mean, no, of course not. That's not how anything works. This show is weirdly touching and really funny and always very sincere and presents a really fun, interesting, nuanced take on all the various ways in which people are crazy and the ways that love and obsession make us do some wild shit. It also, as previously mentioned, is a musical, and it has a song for every occasion.
You're trapped in a car with someone you don't want to be. Trapped in a car with trapped in a car.
Hey, sexy stranger, come back to my place, and I hope you're not a murderer.
Man, nap time to nap like a man. Suit jacket is a blanket now, nap like a man.
Antidepressants are so not a big deal. Big whoop on an antidepressant.
With the preamble out of the way, grab yourself a drink, grab yourself in a amuse-bouche, and let's watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend Episode 1, Josh Just Happens to Live Here. This video includes discussion of mental health topics and includes mention of a suicide attempt. If you're not up for that right now, I totally understand. Take care of yourself, my friend. So we actually start in ye olden days of 2005. We are at Camp Canyon Grove, where they are doing some sort of talent show or production of South Pacific. And this
I'm in love, she's in love, I'm in love.
Very enthusiastic young lady is Rebecca Bunch, our protagonist. It appears to be the last day of summer camp, and we see her here with Filipino heartthrob Josh Chan, her summer camp boyfriend. And Rebecca is...
You've awakened my sexual being for the first time.
Maybe a little oversharey, but like we all remember being 16, right? While Rebecca is trying to plan out what their visitation will be over the next year, Josh is...
What with school and baseball...
dumping her. And it's really awkward and painful. And he doesn't do it...
You're like really dramatic
in the
and
nicest way.
weird.
Calling her weird and dramatic is just a little bit rude, I would say.
What? But I love you.
And thanks for that.
Ouch. Her heart is broken and it is time for Rebecca to go home from summer camp with her...
We go right to the abortionist.
kind of crazy mom. So Rebecca is having a absolutely horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. And we do a pretty fun match cut, which takes us 10 years forward in time. Rebecca is living in the before times of 2015, which try not to think about the fact that that was over a decade ago. Rebecca is not having a real great time. She's looking up things like how long it takes for sleep deprivation to kill you. Her mom is blabbering away on the phone, seemingly unaware that Rebecca is not even listening. And to just add insult to injury. Rebecca is also being called out by a butter commercial.
Ask yourself, when was the last time you were truly happy?
It's a kind of weird ad slogan. Rebecca pulls herself together and heads off to her big city lawyer job, where, exciting news, she's getting promoted. And it sounds like she's getting promoted to partner, which, let's be real, even if you know nothing about law, media has told me that being promoted to partner is a big deal. So, like, that's really exciting.
This is just objectively fantastic. This is objectively fantastic. Like, on paper,
And
fantastic, right?
she's clearly excited, right? It kind of looks more like she's on the verge of a panic attack. And then there's that fucking butter ad again. When's the last time you were happy? Try our butter. I have so many questions, but not the point. The point is Rebecca needs a minute. And so she runs down to the street to have a panic attack.
This is what happy feels like. Happy just feels great and amazing.
Because, God forbid, one thing go right for this woman. While she is desperately trying to open her emergency anxiety pills, they go all over the floor, and she is just praying to God, even though she does not believe in him, to please give her a sign. And she looks up and sees fucking butter ad. Like, once is weird, twice is a coincidence, 3 times is a sign, right? Oh, wait, no, sorry. God was not showing her the butter ad. There was an arrow that moved and points to
Josh Chan?
Josh Chan? Looking all fit and backlit and like, look at those dust motes in the air that he's all like sparkling. Like, okay, Rebecca, I get it. As she sees Josh, an angelic flashback choir is singing. Of course, she goes and says hi to him, because, like, what are the odds that she sees this man today after 10 years?
I've known you turn out to be so successful and hot.
I'm sorry, what was that, Josh?
Let a good one get away, huh?
Okay, like, kind of a meet cute, I guess. Okay, they've already met. Kind of a, like, re-meet cute. Like, oh my God, he's just been in New York for 8 months and they just happened to run into each other.
Actually, I'm moving.
Although they did happen to run into each other
Yeah.
on the day he's leaving. Because turns out living in New York sucks and is miserable. So he is going back to West Covina, where people are...
It's like they're happy.
And that really seems to resonate with Rebecca. And I'm sure it doesn't hurt that he is definitely flirting, right? Oh, let a good one get away. Like, what a weird thing to say. Even if you're moving away and you think you're never going to see this person again, that is a weird thing to say, right? Like, I'm not crazy. That's weird. And there again goes that angelic flashback choir. This is really resonating with Rebecca on a deeply emotional level. And
Look me up, okay?
Okay.
Josh gives her his business card? What the fuck does he do that he has a business card? Yeah, no, definitely flirting. Because if it was just polite, you can just be like, oh my God, yeah, if you're ever in my area, hit me up. It's 2015, they have Facebook. But no, he's like, here is my phone number. I may not be good at flirting, but I know when movies are telling me that that is flirting. Anyway, Josh has to go, and Rebecca has to go back to work, and she is offered the position of junior partner because, in her boss's words,
we know that this job is your whole world.
that's kind of sad. Honestly, you need to have a life outside of work. And Rebecca politely declines the promotion in the weirdest way possible, with some babble about time, and the time to move on is when you've spent enough time and you need the time to take the time. What the fuck is she talking about?
You can't explain it. You just have to obey the ticking clock that is destiny.
But
And I think that this is that time.
what?
What?
This is a very well-adjusted human. You can tell by her normal human smile and the way she
It's where dreams live.
very normally leaves the office It's fine. It's fine. She's in a transitionary period in her life. She's allowed to be having weird reactions and strong emotions. It's fine. The important thing is that this grand exit takes us into our first musical number.
West Covina, California.
And I adore this song. I love the song so much. It is such... I love it when shows are upfront about what they are. And this show does such a beautiful job, especially when you just look at this musical number. We're learning that this is a musical. They are using the signs wonderfully
Because I'm hopelessly, desperately in love.
to really show
West Covina.
the absolute denial Rebecca is in. And this is also a wonderful opening number introduction to the show. We don't actually get the season 1 title song until episode 2, and I am okay with that because personally I think that that is the weakest of all of the title songs.
West Covina, California, brand new pals and new career. It happens to be where Josh lives, but that's not why I'm here.
Because I enjoy suffering. If this video gets 100 likes, I will do a tier list of all the Crazy Ex-Girlfriend songs. All 151 Crazy Ex-Girlfriend songs. I will rank. Like and subscribe. And so Rebecca makes her way to West Covina, California, the most beautiful town in the world. And I love the contrast of this is what we're seeing, and this is the music we're hearing. And as Rebecca steps out of her taxi, her dress is now covered in sparkles because everything is so magical and she is in the land of happiness. And again, I love the contrast and I love what it tells us about Rebecca. The delusion she has built up in her head that moving here is going to solve all of her problems and everything here is going to be beautiful and perfect. And I mean, just look at how excited she is about everything. Like,
Never seen a pretzel this big. It's my destiny, that much is clear.
and because she is a totally normal person who is definitely not just here because of Josh, she also just goes to a strip club. And again, it is just a very fun way of setting up the story and the situation because Rebecca quit her job and moved across the country to follow a guy that she dated for 2 months 10 years ago. And that's crazy.
Heard of West Covina from Josh, but I didn't move here because of Josh. Do you get those things are different? Look, everyone, stop giving me the shakedown. I am not having a nervous.
Anyway, this grand number comes to a beautiful finale with a giant pretzel and a huge crowd and our title card, which, like, not to be rude, and what she is doing is pretty insane. Speaking of insane, now that Rebecca has arrived in the land of dreams and happiness, she decides to dump all of her pills down the drain. Don't do that. Don't do that. Even if you think you don't need them anymore, even if a doctor has told you you don't need them anymore, do not dump your pills down the drain. If you have pills to dispose of, take them to a pharmacy to be disposed of properly, because it's better for the environment. Also, if you have just arbitrarily decided that you no longer need your medicine, don't get rid of it. Spoilers, there will come an episode where Rebecca is going to be very disappointed that she dumped out all of her pills. We also get a little more insight into why Rebecca is the way she is. Because her mother calls and says some horrible shit.
Hope this isn't another stunt like your little suicide attempt in law school. You didn't even break your skin and you inconvenienced a lot of people.
What the actual fuck? No wonder Rebecca has so many problems. Rebecca, I have a book that you should read. This is a JPEG of the book because I gave my physical copy away to someone else. But I definitely recommend this book. Although Rebecca does hang up on her mom. So that is some progress in the correct direction in that relationship, at least. After hanging up on her mom, it's time to text Josh and let him know that Rebecca lives in town now. What a weird coincidence. And then she sits And she waits, and she waits, and she waits, and she falls asleep on the couch, waiting for a reply from Josh. That's not healthy, babe. Don't do that. But luckily for us, it is time for Rebecca to start her new job, so we will definitely get a break from the Josh madness. Rebecca's first day at her new job does introduce us to some fun characters. First, we meet her boss, Daryl, who is peak white man.
I'm what they call a full 1/8. 1/8 Chippewa.
Oh, I'm sorry. Peak 7/8 white man, who finds out that one of his ancestors may have been Native and makes being Indigenous his entire personality. Way to go, buddy. He also immediately discloses the fact that he is going through a divorce because the man needs friends and also boundaries. He's a character. Let's leave it at that. Because we actually pivot away from Daryl and we meet Paula. I adore Paula. She is a piece of work. Paula is understandably suspicious of why this Yale and Harvard educated lawyer left a fancy job in New York to come to West Covina. Paula is a paralegal, and she is also our little PI because she is immediately asking questions and trying to figure out what Rebecca's deal is. And Rebecca is really bad at acting not suspicious.
Friends in town or relatives? No.
That is a woman who is hiding something, and I would also be curious as fuck. Stepping into Daryl's office, he continues to just white man it up. First off, by making comments about his wife's divorce lawyer.
Those real smart Jewish guys.
And second, by making a very interesting comment when he learns that Rebecca is actually Jewish.
I honestly had no idea. That is a tiny nose. It's like a button.
That's not cool, bro. You can't be saying shit like that. Oh, and now Daryl's crying, which is fine. Men can cry. I'm very glad that he is comfortable enough with his emotions that he can cry over his impending divorce. But boundaries, my guy, like time and place. Crying in front of your new employee, it's not cool. Rebecca gives Daryl some very ironic advice, all things considered.
You know there's other fish in the sea, right? It's not healthy to keep fixating on one person.
Whatever, that's not actually what Daryl's upset about. Daryl is very distraught about the custody situation of his divorce because he is a great girl dad, and we love that for him. However, the fact that he then immediately steps in it by asking Rebecca to be his lawyer, even though she's a real estate lawyer, not family law. However, his wife's Jewish lawyer went to a shitty school, and Rebecca went to a good school. Or, as he very eloquently puts it,
Her Jew went to CSU Long Beach. My Jew, Harvard and Yale.
You can't just say things like that, my guy. That's not... It's 2015. You should know better by now. But before we can address that, Rebecca gets a notification that Josh has checked in at a local bar. And I'm not entirely sure how or why she received this notification. I think Foursquare was still a thing in 2015. I really don't remember. I never really used it. But like, okay, maybe she followed him on Foursquare, or maybe he was using like Facebook to check in. It's a little creepy. The point is, Rebecca receives a notification that Josh is at a nearby location, and so she has to go immediately and try to find him. And so she promises Daryl that she is totally here for him. She just has to leave, and also they'll circle back on the Jew thing later.
The Jew thing? Why did I say that?
Poor Daryl. We arrive at home base, a bar slash like baseball facility, and there's a bunch of families. There appears to be a birthday party going on. It is crowded with people drinking, which I'm a little confused by because I feel like it's gotta be like late morning, like early afternoon at the latest. Rebecca had to go to her job, and like everyone else was already in the office when she showed up, so she wasn't there at like 9 a.m., but like it didn't seem like it was the end of the day. So what time is it that this place is full of kids and day drinkers? Anyway, that's not what's important. What's important is we meet Greg. Greg is played by Tony Award-winning Santino Fontana. I really hope I pronounced his name right, but you might know him best as Hans of the Southern Isles.
I love Crazy.
Famous last words. Anyway, Greg is a bartender at home base, and he knows Josh. Unfortunately, Josh did just leave, and Rebecca reacts very normally to hearing this.
Yeah.
That is the face of a very normal person having a very normal reaction. This is also the first time we hear Rebecca's full lie about why she has moved to West Covina, and it is certainly something.
So I was in New York, but I was looking to relocate to Los Angeles because I'm a beach gal. So I run into Chan, and he tells me how great West Covina is, and I'm like, okay, filing away. But then boom, that same day, I get this rando call from a 1/8 Chippewa who's very prominent in my field, asking me to start a position here.
And that's just what she's going with, I guess, which, I mean, there are a lot of weird things in that story. Some of which Greg catches, because, like, what do you mean you wanted to move to LA to be near the beach, and so instead you settled in West Covina, which is 4 hours from the beach? But the important thing is, Greg does not currently know where Josh is, but he does know where Josh will be tomorrow night, because it seems that their Mexican friend Beans...
That sounds racist, but he named himself that, and he kind of makes us call him that. We don't want to.
Well, that's fun. Their friend is hosting a party tomorrow night, and Josh will be there. And so Greg asks Rebecca to go to this party with him as, like, a date. Greg, honey, what part of this exchange made you decide to ask this woman out?
Because you're pretty, and you're smart, and you're ignoring me, so you're obviously my type.
It's kind of sad, actually, buddy. We really got to work on your self-esteem, because you don't need to settle for her. But party isn't until tomorrow night, which means Rebecca has to go back to work. And we get a fun little interaction between her and Paula.
Yeah, ever just have, like, a great day?
No.
Which is actually really fucking sad. Anyway, Paula is calling Rebecca out on her nonsense, because something is very clearly not adding up here.
I am not buying any of this. Thank you for not telling me the truth, because I will figure it out. Now I have something fun to do.
Look at how excited Paula is to be a PI. She's such a good snoop. We get a little bit of a hint into why Paula is so focused on trying to figure out what secret Rebecca's keeping. And it's because her life is sad, and she needs something fun to do. And I love Paula so much. She is such a highlight of the show. Now it's time for our second song of the episode, the Sexy Getting Ready song. This is also where I will point out that because this aired on the CW, a lot of the songs had to be censored and edited. So make sure you are also checking out Rachel Bloom's YouTube channel, which I will make sure I link down below, to see the unedited versions of all the songs. While Rebecca is sexy getting ready, Paula is logging onto Rebecca's work computer and looking for secrets, which is not cool. But when you look at that adorable little evil smile, how can you be mad at her? Anyway, back to the song.
'Cause I want my body to be so soft for you.
And because this is a show written by two women, this is the most realistic sexy getting ready experience you will ever see, complete with looking in a mirror and crying because your body doesn't look the way you want it to, and burning yourself with a hair curler. Also, that. Do y'all really do that? But perhaps my favorite part of the song is the rap breakdown in the middle.
God, what? This is how you get ready?
And by breakdown, I mean breakdown.
I gotta go apologize to some bitches. I'm forever changed after what I just seen.
Remember that guy, because we have not seen the last of him. By the end of the torture montage, Greg has arrived to pick Rebecca up, and she is...
Oh, I totally just woke up from a nap.
way overdressed compared to him. But, like, don't let a man dull your shine, babe. If you want to go to a party looking like that, fucking do it. If you don't, fucking don't. It's that simple. At the party, Greg is trying real hard to act like they're actually on a date. And God, I feel bad for him. But we get a little bit of information about Greg just from eavesdropping here. He was gonna go to business school, but his dad got sick. And presumably he's home taking care of his dad instead of going to business school, which is real sweet and real sad. But Rebecca is mostly just scanning the room for Josh, but like kind of listening. And they bond over having divorced parents and being broken people.
Two broken people.
And Greg, of course, is very aware that Rebecca is into Josh and is here looking for him. And Rebecca, rather than just kind of like owning it, decides to shut Greg up by making out with him. Cheers to broken people. They spend the rest of the party just kind of going from room to room, mostly making out. Mostly Rebecca just checking each room to see if Josh is there, including ending up in a bedroom. And Greg, my darling, the self-esteem. We gotta work on your self-esteem. And you deserve so much better, my guy. While they are making out on the bed, a text arrives from Josh with the update that Josh is not coming to the party.
His girlfriend's making him go to her sister's quinceañera.
And you can see Rebecca's soul break. Now, if you, like me, suffer from secondhand embarrassment, now is the time of the show where you need to start bracing yourself, because Rebecca does some absolutely out-of-pocket shit. I'm watching this show through for like the 4th time, and even knowing what's going to happen, sometimes you just gotta buckle up for the ride. I mean, oh, look at her just trying to pump Greg for information.
What else would I want to pump you for?
That is so sad and uncomfortable.
But just like circling back to Josh for just like a quick second. I know.
Rebecca, please stop. Please stop. Please just leave the man alone. What are you doing? This does succeed though in getting us some more information about Josh. Josh and his girlfriend dated in high school. And I have questions about when in high school they were dating. Is that why Josh had to break up with Rebecca after summer camp? Because he was going back to his girlfriend? Also, like, if he was heading back to West Covina to be with his girlfriend, why was he saying all that flirty shit to Rebecca and, like, giving her his business card? And, like, maybe, these two crazy folks do deserve each other. Anyway, Greg, our feminist king, does not hook up with Rebecca because she is crying and definitely not into it. It is that easy to not be a creep. Instead, he just offers to drive her home because clearly being at this party is not what she needs right now. Who's that they see as they are leaving? Paula. Paula, who is here to chat with Rebecca and also to...
You half Italian?
Yeah?
I can always tell.
Say that for some reason. We don't have time for that right now. Rebecca pulls Paula away from the party to ask what the fuck is going on.
I'm talking about Josh. Chan? Yeah.
Paula said she was going to figure it out, and she did. And she is the only person out here matching Rebecca's freak, because what do you mean you broke into her work computer and, like, checked her Facebook browsing history?
Clearly, you know him because you checked his Facebook 63 times today and his Instagram 18
Paula,
times.
what the fuck, Paula? I mean, comparing going through someone's work computer.
I could have you fired.
Oh, you lied to me.
To having a complete stranger lie to you. She is on her own level of crazy, and I love it. And Paula knows what's up and is the only person out here willing to acknowledge what's happening.
You love him, you moved here for him, and you won't admit it.
We also get a slightly different version of Rebecca's Why I Moved Here story.
I was in New York, I ran into Josh, he made me feel warm inside, like glitter was exploding inside me. Then I moved here. I did not move here because of Josh, because that would be crazy, and I am not crazy.
Which unfortunately does lead her to realizing she might be crazy.
Oh my God.
And while Rebecca is having a borderline breakdown on the lawn, Paula goes into mom mode.
Okay, hey, now stop it! Don't you talk about my friend like that ever again.
I love their dynamic. Again, Paula is the only person out here matching Rebecca's freak, and they are so perfectly paired together.
His Facebook status says he's single, and if he was into her, why would it say that?
That's what I said.
This show is about relationships. Obviously, it's about romantic relationships. Rebecca moved here chasing a man, but it's also about friendships, and it's about family. Paula and Rebecca are one of those central relationships that just so make this show. And Paula clearly watches too many rom-coms because she is 100% on board to romanticizing and enabling what Rebecca is doing.
And I will help you. Let me help you because we can win this.
That's kind of crazy. And I love that for her. Paula is totally on board with helping Rebecca get her man. And as if the universe was sending a sign that they are on the right track.
It is gonna hit him like a bag of nails to the balls. And that day, he will text.
Rebecca's phone dings.
Are you a witch?
It's a text from Josh.
Oh God, oh God. Wanna grab dinner? Smiley face.
And suddenly a light shines down and she starts a reprise of West Covina.
When I try to speak, all our cares will disappear.
And the look of delight on her face when Paula joins in. Episode ends with Josh's name written in the stars and Paula offering to drive by Josh's house.
You know where he lives?
This is gonna be so much fun.
And that, you're right, Paula. This is going to be so fun. How can you not already be hooked? How can you not be so curious what the fuck is going to happen next? Like, what are they going to do to this man? Are they really going to try to break up his relationship so that Rebecca can get with him? Did they just leave poor Greg standing on the lawn?
No, I'll just wait here.
And also the stinger at the end of the episode.
Calling to apologize for the way I treated you when you danced in my recent music videos. I love to discuss The Second Sex by Simone de Beauvoir, which I just read.
The rapper from earlier was truly changed by what he saw. And he is apologizing to those bitches. And also reading The Second Sex. Feminist king? Resand could never? That's a dangerous thing to say, but fuck it, I'm saying it. In summation, the show is fantastic. I am currently watching through it for a 4th time because watching the first episode for this video and I needed to. I would also like to point out, you have not even met Josh's girlfriend yet. Episode 2 is titled Josh's Girlfriend is Really Cool. So you have to watch it. You have to meet Valencia.
Look at me, look at me.
Look at her. She's so cool. I could babble about this show for hours if you let me. But let me just conclude by saying that I'm just a Nick standing in front of a friend asking them to watch Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I would love to hear your thoughts on the show, especially if you have already seen it, or if this convinced you to go watch it, or convinced you to go watch it a 2nd time, 3rd time, 5th time. I'm not here to judge. And also a reminder that if this video gets 100 likes, I will create a tier list of all 151 Crazy Ex-Girlfriend songs. At least that is the number according to Spotify. That number might be different when I actually start looking them up. And now I realize that that might disincentivize some people from liking this video, and that is okay. You do what's best for you, friend. Thanks again for watching. If you would like to hear more of my rambling, do the like and subscribe thing. I have a few more shows that I am planning to give the Why Aren't You Watching treatment. And if you have underappreciated shows you'd like to recommend, please do so in the comments below. Stay tuned for more, and take care of yourself, my friend.